And what else was I going to tell you? Oh, and then of course, bro, I thought, it's just kind of funny to me that everybody, they always bury Vince for being out of touch and this and that. But the minute he came out, that fan base who turns against everything, he just went nuts for him. He just still has charisma, was great in his role. I mean, I thought he's just a great performer. Kevin was great, but wow, I did not see that headbutt coming.
No, I didn't either.
Bro, that was a shoot headbutt for what?
Well, I mean, whoever thought of that is just completely void of the concussion.
Well, it had to be okayed by Vince.
Yeah, which is just even more bizarre. It's like, bro, they just had the concussion doctor came and talked to them.
Right.
About being safe and everything and all that. So I was like, okay, let's go. I'm going to give you a shoot head. Did they know that can cause a concussion, or is everybody completely ignorant there?
No, that had to be a Vince call, and nobody was going to tell him no.
Yeah, I was going to say, it had to be, the idea had to come from him.
I don't think anybody convinced him.
How do you know the idea? How do you know? I want to find out.
But, okay, what do you think? Okay, let me ask this question.
Let's talk to our secret sources in the WWE and try to find out whose idea that was.
All right, but let me ask both of you a question. Do you think Vince came up with it, or somebody came up with it and had to convince him?
I think somebody came up with it and convinced him. I think Vince is probably real macho and thought it was a great idea.
Yeah, okay. I agree. I think it was probably someone else's idea, and Vince thought it, and he just ran with it. And because it's 72 to take that headbutt, obviously,
I'd be willing to
common
bet
sense is out the window on that
Road
one.
Dogg's idea.
I'll agree with that. Yeah.
Well, but it might be his idea.
That's a Michael Hayes.
Well, which one is it?
Michael Hayes' idea.
Michael. It's a Jimmy Jacobs idea. I saw a tweet where I read that Jimmy Jacobs and Road Dogg are writing SmackDown.
No one would be surprised.
Interesting.
No. So yeah, that was a main thing. It just freaked me out when I saw that head, but I just thought it was unnecessary.
Well, here's the thing. But then he got up too.
There's so many things that you can do in professional wrestling for heat.
Right.
Why would you do something that for
could
a shoot,
really? What if you would have really hurt him?
But bro, we saw what happened with Shibata, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, and this busted him open. It's like, but he's going to have a hematoma.
And that's what I mean. He got up from it, too, so that kind of downplayed.
And what has the reaction been so far to that?
My timeline was filled because of, again, on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Right.
Talking about that headbutt. I can't wait to hear what Disco says about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, I just thought, the thing to me that stood out more than anything, I'm like, all right, all right, the boss wants...
It's Husey. Hello.
All right, the boss wants to do it, whatever. But this is I've always thought this is a ridiculous pet peeve. Is in professional wrestling, when a guy bleeds, it's like you have to show the blood. Like he's going to sit there and bleed. And they've always, they bring the EMTs in, and they'll just stand there and like acting like they're concerned and just let the guy bleed. Okay? Stephanie comes to ringside. Vince is bleeding. She's got a towel in her hand. And she's not there for maybe 30 seconds. And at no point does she decide to take the towel and apply direct pressure to the head and stop the bleeding. Okay? Which to me is it's like, okay, we get it, he's bleeding, but if you want to sell this, if it's a shoot, let's try to make
the injury. Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, people that are watching that are going are looking if you're trying to sell it as a real angle, you're looking at that going, well, why is she not? Hey, try to stop the bleeding. Well, what are you doing? Are you that stupid?
Disco, can you imagine when they told Kevin and he's all like, "Are you kidding me?" And they're like, "No. Vince wants you to do it," and he's like, "Are you sure?" And
I want to find out.
And now imagine the predicament he's in because he's thinking, man, this guy really wants me to headbutt him. I don't, you know what I'm saying? And if I don't do it, I might get heat. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe Kevin Owens told him he could work it,
right?
And he screwed up.
I don't think so.
Well, how do you know?
You can see in the ring that
you
Vince
think that
kind of
Vince wanted to get headbutt in the head as a shoot and bleed?
Yeah.
I don't know about the blood, but I'm sure he wanted it to look as real as possible.
Do you think he did it do you think he screwed it up and did it too hard? What if Vince has a concussion?
Yeah, and at that age, I mean,
there's a lot of
questions. What if
questions.
Kevin Owens gave Vince a concussion?
No, I mean, I think he would just chalk it up to just a hazard of what they were doing. If you try to do something that serious, there could be that kind of repercussion.
I'd like to hear some of the inside stuff from.
Yeah, we need to find out from our inside sources and get back to everybody on this.
So why don't you just call Meltzer and find out? I'm sure he knows. I'm sure he probably tried to find out.
Right. Yeah, I will.
Yeah, let's get the inside scoop on that.